Okay, we're back on the engine here. Been sidetracked with a few other jobs, so getting back on this, we're gonna clean a little bit more here. You can see, even after rinsing this thing, there's still some schmutz on here, and I'm going to be rinsing out these cam bearings. That's why I've got gloves on. I don't want to touch those with my bare fingers because I won't be re-cleaning those. Just want to make sure that all that stuff is out of there and we're as clean as we can be. I'm just using some brake clean. I'm going to wipe inside these cam bearings before we put the engine grease in and all that kind of stuff. But first we're going to have to put in these cam followers. I'll get these cleaned out too. We've already rinsed these out, but we'll put a little bit of assembly grease on those as well. I'll get you in closer if I can here. Probably see most of my Santa Claus belly, but it's what I can do for a view. So, let me get these cam bearings rinsed out. These aren't my favorite towels to use on this because they can leave some lint, but I don't have any of the Blue Shop towels right now. But we should be okay. One other thing I found I needed to do when I was sandblasting the head is one of our plugs opened up a hole in it. It's a good thing we caught that so we don't have an antifreeze leak. Notice I'm turning this towel to a clean section on the opposite side. I'm not wiping all that crap back through there. Alright guys, I had to cut you off because of that heater, and I've gone through and wiped out all the cam bearings and everything in here, cleaned it up, and then this is our first cam follower. Some people call these a lifter, their book calls them a cam follower. And we're just cleaning this, and then I've test fit this in the bore before I greased it up. You want to make sure these can pass by your cam bearings. I had my other motor, they didn't relieve one of these and it wouldn't go past, so it would have hit that. And I don't know if you can see it on the video, but right here, let me try and get you over the edge here. I'll zoom this in. But right here, that's got to have enough clearance for that to get by. So if you watch when I put this in here, you've got to have enough for that lip of that to get by there, because if that starts hitting that up and down, it's going to chew that up and it's going to spit that cam bearing out inside your engine, destroy your engine. So that's a very critical thing to check, and since the machine shop screwed it up already on my other engine, they told me to check it and you know, they would fix it if there was a problem. But I'm going, okay, shouldn't you guys have checked that before you released it to me? So I wasn't too thrilled about that, but whatever. I'm going to make sure that we get that done right the first time. Now what I'm using on here, what I told you in a previous video, is assembly grease. This is made by CRC. And this stays on for a lot longer in case you're not going to start the engine immediately. Now I've got some other stuff that is more for short term if you're going to start that motor pretty quick after you get it put together. And that will run right off of them, or off of whatever you're assembling it into, like your bearings. So where I don't know where this is going to get started, and we're just going to go ahead and use this. You can see it's going to stay in place nicely. I just want to make sure that these are protected so that nothing's dry on startup. And then I like to put a little on here too, so we protect our cam. And then we are going to be running some zinc in there, some ZDDP with break-in lube, Lucas break-in lube. I'm going front to back. I've got these all set in a cardboard container so that we keep them organized. Alright guys, this is the second time I found this issue on one of these straight six engines where they put the cam bearing in wrong. And look what they've done. They've beveled the hell out of this cam bearing. I've never seen somebody install cam bearings with that big of a bevel on them like that. And then, do you hear that? See a problem? Let me show you. This is how that follower should sit in there. Look how much higher this one is. I don't know if you can tell on camera. Let's see if I can get you a measurement. So this one that's hitting the cam bearing is 522. Let's see what it actually is here, because I didn't zero this. Close to 522. Now 532. And the correct one is 220. Now I've got to take this out of here and fix this myself, which means I've got to mask all of this off in here and make sure I don't get any shavings from this down inside of here, because this was done incorrectly. They clearanced this, but they didn't do it enough. And I gave them these cam followers, and this cam follower in my hand was the one that went here, because they were all numbered. Look at this. This was given to the machine shop with all of these in it. And now I get to the end of the cam followers, and I can't continue the build here. Alright guys, so you never believe this. I went down to the machine shop this morning and told them what had happened with that cam bearing. First thing the owner says to me is, "That's BS. We don't grind cam bearings here." Now, I'm going to show you a picture of the bearings I bought from eBay that are original Chrysler bearings in the boxes. The owner also didn't really want to do anything about it at first, and wouldn't believe me that I had dropped off the cam, the followers. I had to tell him 7 or 8 times. Finally, I told him I wanted to talk to the guy who installed them. That guy was a lot more willing to listen to me. I don't understand why, when I take something down in the machine shop, to have the professionals do it, and it's clear that it's not done correctly. You need to check stuff when your machine shop does things. So, long story short is, if I ruin the bearings trying to scooch that back, they said they'd replace them. The problem with that is, I already paid for the job to be done. It took a month and a half. I am under a huge time crunch here with weather, trying to get that engine installed, get it started up and test it and run it. The customer's wanting to know what's going on. You see what kind of a bind that leaves me in here? Alright guys, I got that bearing clearanced. I could not move it over at all. So what I had to do is clearance it a little bit with a Dremel. I've gone through here and rinsed everything. Just gently trying to take off a little bit of this burr, this bearing scraper. Just trying to be very gentle on this. This bearing scraper is sharp, so we want to make sure we don't dig in any edges. I can't feel that with my finger or my fingernail. I don't know if you can see that. There's a little bit of lighter coloration in there. I can't even feel that with my finger, so I think we're good. I'll show you this real quick, and then I'm going to clean that. Just get rid of that extra back. Well, these are bearing scrapers. These are an old school tool. I got these with a bunch of machinist stuff I bought. They've never been used. And man, they're sharp. I mean, if you ran that along your hand, it'd cut you. You got several different sizes here to choose from. And this is how they used to hand fit bearings. Cam follower goes past there. I've cleaned this once already. I brushed all the guides, or the bores for the cam followers down into the valve guides, and then rinsed them several times. And then I'm going to wash this out again. Alright guys, so we got all the cam followers in and got that little situation solved. It actually took less time to solve it than it did to argue with the machine shop, but I felt like they needed to know because it keeps happening.